help. I have done it again.
Someday I'll be the perfect student. Someday people will start noticing me and I'll have friends. Someday I'll make my parents proud. Someday there will be peace in the world. Someday I'll lose just 10 more pounds and maybe, just maybe, then I'll be good enough.
I'm Devanshi. I'm a sophomore in the college studying biological based behavior. I love to study science in general. I love working in the lab at CHOP, and I love art and ice skating and skateboarding. I was the only person that was kind of in the background all the time, all through my childhood experience. I was also kind of bullied as a child. I was called a nerd, and I was told that nobody would ever like me, or because I was too much of a nerd, that no boy would ever pay attention to me. And so from a childhood point, I grew up feeling like I'll never be good enough, that there's something inherently wrong with me. The world was something that was just too big, and there were too high expectations, and I was just nothing in it. I feel like I didn't have an identity. I felt like everyone else was so important. I kept comparing myself to everyone in the world, and everyone else mattered. But me, I was invisible. For a female to actually be accepted in society, she has to look beautiful, she has to look skinny, she has to look perfect. And that was one more thing for me to pick on. But this was different, this was tangible. And I'm not good enough directly translated into I'm not skinny enough. So what I started doing was I severely restricted my food intake. The more I did it, the more I was getting the attention, the instant gratification. Every single time I wouldn't eat, I would feel amazing. I felt a sense of power and control over my life. I couldn't control my parents' emotions, I couldn't control my friends, but this is something that I could control. Whatever I did, I got some sort of attention, and I started feeling noticed. So feeling noticed was something that I've wanted for so long, and that was exactly it. The more that they said, you look extremely sick and deathly, it was a vicious cycle. I took that into, you're doing a really good job at what you're doing. And after having an absence of that saying in your entire life, I think that translation means so much, which leads you to even more restrictive behaviors. So I restricted even more to get more sayings from other people saying that, you're really sick and you need to go to the doctor. I didn't say anything back directly, but it was like, thank you for telling me that, I'm doing a good job at essentially killing myself. But at least I was doing a good job at it, which is what the eating disorder was. I was doing things out of desperation, so I never wanted to ask for help. So what happened was that they told me that as a freshman, you are not healthy to stay here, and you need to leave, and we are going to force you to leave, and you have to take a year of absence. And that's when my world split right down the middle. Everything I've ever wanted disappeared. My friends, the support from my family, that was always there, but it was just, the disappointment that you got into an Ivy League and it's gone. That was gone. My classwork and my studies, things that I actually loved doing, that was all gone, taken away from me, and I was put into an inpatient room or a hospital for months with no contact, no cell phone, no, nothing. I had nothing. And that's when I kind of got a wake-up call. I saw my friends at Penn, they were getting closer, and my classes were going, and it's hard, when you get accepted into a school like Penn and you come in after a leave of absence and you're a visitor. There was someone else living in my room. I was replaced. You go through a phase of extreme rebellion at first. I didn't want to do anything that the nurses were telling me to. I didn't understand when people were telling me that, you actually have to get on a meal plan and you actually have to start, following healthy guidelines, because that didn't seem right to me. So what happened was I went through a lot of group therapy. I met with an individual therapist every day. saw a psychiatrist, and it was an insanely, and I'm really grateful for it, an amount of support from a whole treatment team. And having that support really got me to come out on the other end, because they showed me that I can separate my identity from the eating disorder. I don't have to equate it one-on-one, because I'm something else. You know, I have people who love me for who I am, and they showed me that. My friends called me and they would tell me that, you know, like, I just love you, Devanshi, for who you are. And the doctors would say that you also have to find your identity in something else, because this doesn't define you. It's not who you are. It's just an unhealthy coping mechanism to deal with underlying solutions. I don't need society to tell me who I am, because I'm proud to be myself. And to this day, I can say I am proud to be myself. I do still struggle, but I've come such a long way, and I think I truly am free, because I've separated my identity from the eating disorder's identity. The world is so big, and instead of viewing yourself as so small in the world, it kind of switches, and you kind of view the world as having so much potential and so much opportunities that you can actually take advantage of.
And today I can say I am, and forever will be, free.